And I'm on YouTube doing the thing where I gotta mute it.
Okay. What's up, folk?
What I do, what I do, what I do.
Because you come into the room, shout yourself out, because you know we don't know you here till you say something.
That's right.
I'm gonna just top off my libation.
Yes, you do that.
I had some more Cali Red because I got a lot going on. I got my face threaded today, my whole face.
Oh, no, you did not.
I did. And had the unmitigated gall to do it the day after getting, my head still hurts.
You just want your whole upper appendage to be in pain.
I had to tell her, what up, Jazzy? I had to tell her, okay, I just had my hair braided yesterday. So like the sideburns, because that's usually my concern. I'm very hairy right around here. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's the gel that they use to it was really not coming off nicely. And I was like, but she was good. I mean, my eyebrows haven't looked like this. I don't know when. I told her, I was like, I haven't had
this bigger so I can see. Yes, ma'am. Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And then, all of this. So I was like, if I'm going to do all this and this, might as well just get all of that.
But threading?
Yes.
Are you some kind of sadist? Or,
no. And the thing is like initially it's and then after that, it's just kind of like, okay, but of course it's the tail, like my whole half of my face was buzzing. And then she goes to do the other side and it's like, okay. All right.
Okay. Hey, y'all, if you're in here, let us know. Say something in the chat, please.
Please.
Whew.
I've been channeling my inner Kimberly, watching A Different World.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
On Friday nights, I've just been like, what? Because I watched the special on E. And then right after that went off. I
haven't watched the special yet.
Well, of course they talk about all like the episodes, but they talked about the one where Kim was, wilding out. She was like fronting Ron's band.
Yeah.
When I finished watching the special, that episode was on. So I sat up like the whole rest of the night watching. So, yeah. And then last weekend was the wedding and, all of that. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
those are the days.
Is there an episode you don't know? Because I feel like I know all the episodes.
Yeah, no, I know all of them.
Yeah. I
don't recognize them immediately. Like, oh, this is but like I saw the one where Gina's boyfriend was smacking her around.
Oh yeah, and Billy D. Williams.
Yes. Let's see. What other one did they show? Like randomly, I saw the one where Colonel Taylor was getting invited to like the PGA joint.
Yes.
What up, Court? And I was laughing about that. So, it's just like I was explaining to my kids that, it's really a timepiece. And I have to be 150% honest that show did more for me, even entertaining the idea of going to an HBCU, than the fact that both my parents went to HBCUs. Like all of my family members went to HBCUs, but they didn't talk of it without fondness. It just was like, oh, yeah, that's
you didn't connect with it.
Right. But Hillman was like, okay, yeah, I need that in my life.
We went to Hillman.
We
went to Hillman.
We did.
We all did. And it's funny to me. I said Billy D. Williams, and I thought, if Colby is on this or if Imani's on this, they probably don't even know who that is.
Lando Calrissian.
Well, they won't know who that is.
Oh no.
Girl, I got Colby to watch Black Widow last night, which we'll talk about later. And they don't watch movies.
I know. I have one that doesn't really care for like sitting down and watching them. And then I have one that is like, okay, I'm about to watch such and such. And he's like, okay, I'm coming.
Yes.
So
Yes, I agree, Cam. A shame.
Shame, shame, shame. I thought about Kobe and Imani last week when I was watching the. Are you watching the college thing with Peyton Manning hosting the?
Oh no, I haven't been watching it.
Let's just say Xavier did not
I saw
represent.
Xavier's on it.
They did not represent well.
No,
I was in my feelings and drinking before noon.
No.
And I was like, because only Xavier and Morehouse were on there.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, all the people that I know that go to Hampton and A&T and Spelman. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not on social right now because I 47-year-old me was killing the game. Like I knew all that shit, all the category, but watching them was just like, did you practice? It made me think about Miss RHS.
Yes.
And not practicing the random questions, and then not you because you won.
Oh, I know.
Getting up there, I'm saying it for the people. Getting up there and flubbing the basic questions was like, oh, because you were too good to practice.
Yeah, that was shade. Y'all don't know, but it was big shade.
Ray didn't know what gender was.
Okay.
Or have a role model handy.
Yeah. I mean, basic shit.
Basic shit.
Okay. So several things before we talk about shirts. Let's talk about your head. Because you were giving me lemonade.
Yes.
So you're giving me.
I'm going to see Usher.
What?
I'm going to see Usher.
No, you said that like I'm supposed to know. You said, I'm going to see Usher. No.
Going to see Usher on Friday.
Oh, that's what's up.
And meeting the Line Sisters, and it was like, okay, it's hot. I don't want to have to carry a lot of product. I don't want to have to, do all of that. So let me see if I can find a style. So the style that I found is similar to this, but it's not Bo Derek.
Yes.
I'm appropriating blonde braids. But, it had like the burnt ends and it was a little bit shorter. But the place that I go, they don't really like to do the burnt ends. And I'm like, I'm fine, whatever. I don't care about that. And they're the place that I've gone the last 2 times that I've had braids. So yeah, it is lemonade. I had so much new growth from when I got my hair colored in April. Hey, Deb.
Hey.
She was like, I think we should go with the blonde. Because if we do black and blonde, it's just going to look, and I mean, you could see the black, and that's enough because it took some of the brightness off of this blonde. Because when she brought it out, she was like, "That is your hair color," and I was like, "Damn, it's bright though." She was like, "That is your hair color," and I was like, "Okay, well, we'll see."
So is this bitch French? Because that's what you sounded like.
Well, they're African. She was speaking French. Yeah, she's Senegalese.
Oh, okay.
She told me her name is Mary.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Mary.
It could be. Or Marie. Or Marie.
Yeah, that was a whole
though, but yeah.
It should have been, it actually only took 3 hours to do. But when I got there, they were like, come back in 2.5 hours.
No.
And then when I got there in 2.5 hours later, she was like, I'll be right back 10 minutes. And that was another hour.
Get out of here.
So spent 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the story with the hair.
But your hair is, as your shirt says, pretty dope.
Why, thank you. Yes, I got some wave situation going. Like, yeah.
You got some patterns.
Some patterns, yes, some patterns. And it's tight. Whew. Yeah. My head is tight.
And for those of you who missed it, she also got her whole face threaded today because she's on some sadist shit.
It's better than a facial.
Yeah.
That's quicker and less painful than a facial. Facials hurt.
No, not me. What are they doing in your facials?
Well, when they start with the, with the tool, and the pores and I'm like, so anyway.
Okay, so my shirt, self-explanatory.
Yes.
It has a back too. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but
ooh, yes. It's giving me like 3D kind of vibes. The
yes,
whole
yes, yes. And are you munching on anything, or are you just about to get wine wasted?
I am not munching on anything.
So you're about to get
I don't
wine
have anything that I could eat gracefully. Because I made pasta for dinner, and I was like, oh, I can't.
Oh, I made tacos, and I couldn't bring that up. This is why I'm eating tabbouleh on a bruschetta cracker. But
yeah, see, I don't have shit like that in my house, and I had some popcorn, but again, first of all, it's the dregs, so what else?
Okay, so let's start this thing 10 minutes in.
Cool. Yeah, you guys just came in on our coffee talk. It's all good.
Yes, coffee talk. So today's first of all, what's up, y'all? What's up? Glad you're here.
What's up?
On a Twofer Tuesday.
Yes.
Hanging out with us when y'all could be doing some other stuff. But it's a good time. It's a promise kiki. Guaranteed. So today's show is called Takedowns, Showdowns, and Fake Clowns. That's a good one, Mickey.
Thank you.
So we want to welcome you to Twofer Tea. If you're here, you know us, but say you happen upon this on our YouTube page and you want to watch it. We are two friends, two writers, big opinions, and we like to sit here and talk with you guys. We call this Twofer Tea. Visit our blog site, twoferblog.com, to learn more about us and about what we do, if you don't already know. And we'd like to sit here and chat with you for a little while tonight. We want to thank our partners in advance. We'll talk more about them in detail later. But we want to thank them and big up Creative Sippin', Curly and Spiritually Fit, excuse me, Melanin Mindscape, Disrupting Balance, Spiked Sweet Tea Podcast, Gluten-Free Black Girl, and Clay Botanics. More about them at the end of the live. And yes, pull up on them and us. Also we got an invitation, Mickey. So I don't know when you'll be back in town, but we got an invitation to go get our auras read.
Ooh.
Yes. And then to talk about it on the show. So
I'll be in town at the end of August.
Okay, so we're going to get our auras read. I will let her know. Okay. And she's going to be a partner with us, but she wants us to know what we're talking about before we
I hope to tell her, don't tell me nothing negative. Lie to me.
Okay. You know what we need y'all to do. Engage. Get live in the comments section. Let us know you're here. Say all the shit that you can't say at work. And let's talk about it, okay? Let's get it going with our A block, which is, as always, here for it. Here for it. And I gotta say, this first one, I think the whole world was here for it. I've never seen anybody cuss somebody out so thoroughly without saying a cuss word. Not nary cuss word, but she gave her all the business, snatched all of her synthetic edges. And I mean, I started to say if you haven't seen it, but I guarantee everyone has seen it at this point.
Listen, all you have to do is Google Tabitha Brown, Wendy Williams. This is what came up when I Googled it because, I'm fasting from social media, supposedly. But yeah, this comes up on essence.com. So you can watch it.
You can find it really easily. Long story short, Wendy Williams is out here being the trash human being that she is. Do we need to talk about the rest of her trashiness here? Or did we
no, because that's tried it. So that's later.
She was out here being the trash human being that she is. And brought up, she put Tabitha Brown's name in her mouth.
Tabitha Brown was at home minding her black ass business.
Minding her black business owning business. Okay? Doing her, staying in her lane, minding the business that pays her, sitting in her own seats. and Wendy got on the air, and it was like one of those sitcoms where people start telling all their business because she was projecting like it was scripted.
She was Terry McMillan projecting.
Oh, she was. She was. So Wendy got up there and she talked about Tabitha Brown and how Tabitha recently posted that her husband, who's been working for the LAPD for the past 15 years, that she was retiring him that day. That they had made an agreement when they moved out to LA that if he gave her 5 years to pursue her acting dreams, that she would then retire him so he could pursue whatever his dreams were. He got this job after they moved there because he said, you know what, it'll help pay the bills while you do you. 5 years passed, 10 years passed. We got to 15 years and he was still holding on. And she said, you know what, the time has come. We can do it. Now I want you to go out there and I want you to live your dreams. I want you to think like a child to whatever it is that you can imagine. And I want you to pursue that. And then Wendy got on there, mocked Tabitha's accent, which pays her bills.
Yes.
Said that their relationship would be over or be rocky in a few years because he was going to basically, and this is where she proceeded to fill in the blank with all of her own experiences, that, hey, Dana, that Tabitha's husband was going to start, losing money, misspending money, get broke, and then resent her.
And then leave her.
Well, it was so sad to hear her say it. Even her audience was kind of like, to the point where she had to ask them, clap if you understand what I'm saying.
Because they're looking at her like,
right.
Why are you mad? Why are you so mad?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, Deb.
Mm-hmm. And so finally her question was so pointed that they, well, of course we understand what you're saying. We don't agree with it.
They were like
English and
I mean,
yeah. Tab got on the Instagrams and with all of the Holy Spirit glowing behind her. You see it right there. You see that glow. You see that dove over her shoulder.
No makeup.
None. Smiling with all of that good new teeth. Mm-hmm. And said that people had been texting her. Her phone had been blowing up. Telling her
she was minding her black ass business where she was. Had no idea.
Yep. And they were telling her, you need to watch this clip. So she did. To which she replied, let me see some of the best phrases from the response were, ooh, she must really be hurting. She must really be in pain to say those things and to feel that way. She said, oh, I hope that real love finds you and holds you tight.
Yes, honey.
I hope that a love that's about support and encouragement and freedom finds you and holds you tight.
Holds you tight.
Okay. She told her, my situation is different. I've been with my husband for 23 years.
23.
Together. She said together like 3 times. Struggling together. Fighting together. And for the past few years, succeeding together. And what she basically said, her Luther Anger translator said,
bitch, don't come for me if I ain't sent for you.
That's what she said. She was like, no, raggedy man.
Right.
Not chance. Your raggedy man, or, he ain't your man no more. Your folk are not my folk. And she said, and we put God first in our marriage. First. The end. And now go on about your day. Have the most amazing day. As she always says.
The most amazing day.
And if you can't, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. When I tell you, they done took Tab's response and put it over the ether beat. And
yes.
That's when I lost it. That's when I was like, yikes. And you know, Tab, I mean, Wendy ain't saying shit else about it.
No, she went on to be trash about some other shit, but we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I just... Where are you in your life's journey when somebody else... I mean, we talk about that all the time over here. Hurry up and be a doctor so I can retire. Right? Like that's the whole, like, yes, you've given me all of this time I want to give that to you. I'll be damned if Wendy Williams sees my story on the interwebs and calls me out, because I'm not Tabitha. And Jesus is smurfly still working on me. Right. But what she will catch will be these hands.
And these. Because whoever she come for,
that's right. Because no player. Hey, Granddame.
Yes, D. And honey, if you're listening, I need you to comment in here, because he is very similarly. We have those same conversations about. He's like, you are my retirement.
Correct.
And I'm like, I'm down with that.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and pop out this New York Times bestseller.
That part.
So we can retire, and I'm good with that, because we're a partnership. Wendy don't know what that is.
Partnership.
Wendy is hurting still and bitter, and somebody need to hug her if they can, manage it. I don't know how you.
Yeah, Wendy could never.
Could never. That part. Now, I'm right here. I'm trying to keep the dog from fucking up my shit. Okay. So, yeah. So, we're here for Tabitha's response. We're here for, I said, hurry up. We're here for all of what Tabitha has named the Tabbage Patch. It's all of her supporters who came from Wendy and posted all the avocados in Wendy's social media. She had no chance. It was just full of avocados. So count me part of the Tabbage Patch.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And we need to come up with our hive names.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not the two-timers.
Oh, yeah.
Two-timers. Y'all the two-timers.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yes. So we're here for anybody who's willing to drag Wendy. I'm here for.
Yes, ma'am.
And this particular drag.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Father, Mary, and Joseph. Well.
Go ahead, babe.
And I was just saying, alternating great news. Mm-hmm. Y'all's 2021 spelling bee champ is this young lady right here.
No, wait, before you click on anything, just go to the Google homepage and put in her name and search just her name. Not on images.
Oh.
All right, now go to just the search bar, like click the word Google. Now put in her name.
How you spell Zayla? Oh!
That's
love.
That's the award-winning word.
Nice.
Right? Come on, go.
I don't know if y'all watched any of it, but my girl was coming to the mic, not asking for the definition and the associated information. She was like, does it mean blah, 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 from the Latin, blah, 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 yes, with the root, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, then it's spelled like this. I love it. I love it. All the energy. She was like, I'm not studying these words. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, what upset me was how quickly everybody tried to come in. You know, they put this on ESPN and they couldn't wait to be like, but this is her side gig. Her real gig is, you know, she broke some records bouncing balls. I was like, don't do that.
Well, I hear you.
Yes, but also
I hear you, but
let her be an intellectual for just 5 minutes. That's all I'm saying.
The only reason I'm not mad about it because she said that this is her side gig.
Oh, okay. So I missed that part. All right, I'm out of pocket.
Yeah, she said that this is her side gig and that basketball is her real gig. She wants to be in the WNBA. She also wants to work for NASA at the same time. So,
and baby, you should have all of those things.
She should have all of those things. How about we have a mutual friend who has a son who's been a guest on the show, Kim Poole, who wants to work for NASA. And when he heard she wants to work for NASA, he immediately looked up her age to see if she would be his competition. Got to love it.
What cracks me up is he didn't look up to find out how he could win the spelling bee also. He's like, yeah, you can have that. But
like, yeah, right. Yeah. Zalia is like, yeah, get you a girl who can do both. Okay.
Right. I love the fact that she was up on stage in J's and ankle socks and jeans. I mean, like she was like, this me. This me. I'm from Harvey, Louisiana. Even though they were like, oh, she's from New Orleans. I'm like, I mean, yes, but Harvey. I was so here for it.
That twirl when she won, that was just joy. I loved it. I love that. Reading an article about her, she was saying that she tries not to.
Stop, Cam. She young. She don't know.
Standard drip violation.
She had on jeans. I'm just saying ankle socks because, I mean, you were sitting there watching it with me. You know.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. But you got to love Cam's realness. He coming with it.
Yes.
That she said she tries not to make this her whole world. And so therefore she only studies words 7 hours a day. only 7.
He's mad. Only 7 hours a day?
Only 7.
Studying words. Okay.
And then people were like, oh, 7, that seems a lot. She was like, oh, I have a suspicion that other people are doing more. And in those 7 hours, do you know how many words she learns a day within those 7 hours? Okay, I'm gonna have to get my mouth real close so you can see this. 13,000.
So what you're saying is that by getting the dictionary.com word of the day, I'm underachieving.
Far, far underachieving.
Got it. By keeping a little notebook of words that I hear that I'm like, ooh, that's a nice word.
Nope. It's cute. It's cute that you think that's, yeah.
No, I didn't think it was achieving. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, I like words. So
right, exactly. I mean, we here.
Right.
We here. 13,000. Kobe, do you see all this?
A day?
There. I had to put the rest of it back.
A day?
A day. In her 7 hours.
Are there that many words?
Girl. So I thought about that. And then I thought, you know what? She's probably doing. Okay, take this off the screen. So I can see you bigger, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
She's probably doing words that are very similar or derivatives of other words, and those count. But 13,000. Yeah. A day.
Dude, that's a lot of words. And I'm not saying that to denigrate. I'm not questioning it. I'm just like 13,000 words a day. And you still got time to be breaking records with.
Right. Kobe said your braids are cute. She just walked.
Thanks, Kobe. Thanks, Kobe.
Spelling bee studying is stupid and disrespectful.
Yes. I mean, I remember watching Akilah and the Bee and being like, oh, I mean, I liked Scrabble at a young age. And, I like but like, I enjoy watching the spelling bee for all the quirks. Like somebody came up and was like, in her hand. Right. And I was like, oh, yeah. And all the things that they do to But I was like, oh, I will break out the spell. I was at home in April playing Scrabble with my mom and my sisters, looking up words in the Scrabble dictionary, like, oh, okay, that is a word, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, Dana.
Okay, let's see. So we are here for Miss Avant-Garde, who, that wasn't her given last name. Her father changed her last name, in honor of jazz musicians.
And in honor of one in specific. And I was like, it was that the name of Charlie Parker or somebody?
Yeah, Charlie Parker. That's not his name.
Right. That's what I was like. I need
avant-garde style of music, but
okay.
I mean, Parker would have been easier.
It would have been.
But not
I guess Parker was normal. We remember avant-garde. Like, absolutely. I can't remember her first name, but I remember avant-garde. So absolutely. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. There you go. Here for it.
Cool.
Magnolia Cox. Go for it.
Oh, no. I thought we were moving on to the next one. That's right. Go ahead.
No.
Magnolia.
I don't know Magnolia. That's
okay, so
go ahead.
He was the first Magnolia Cox.
Yes.
Just because y'all, this is the level of production we have today. So Magnolia Cox was actually in 1936, got all the way to the championship round of the spelling bee, and the judge, obviously, it was, I thought I read somewhere that it was a he. Okay, it's a she. Anyways, the judges pulled a word out of their asses that wasn't on the list to prevent her from winning because it was 1930.
I don't know why I read that this was 1908. But okay. Maybe I'm just storing that year in my head.
I mean, this is just, of course, this all comes up when we're super duper excited to have, a Black girl win this. And it's like, but you know what? I mean, and again, not to diminish, but to point out that, 85 years ago, there was a person who was on track to win and was wiping the floor with everybody from Akron. Ohio.
You gotta preach a sermon in that one. Oh, yeah, a sermon. Let me make a little note and write something for our next block that happened since we made this run of show. But
okay. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and it's the fact that we're still celebrating firsts in a lot of things is
a lot of things.
And it's hard to say it. Without making it seem like we're, crapping on the person who we're supposed to be celebrating. But it's just like, the first Black woman to be swimming in open waters for the Olympics for Britain. It's 2021. We actually swim. I mean, y'all swim. I'm saying, we know how to save ourselves, but point being, like, it's 2021. We celebrate these companies that finally have a Black CEO or have elevated someone to the position of dean or whatever. And it's just like,
I think it's important. Like you said, you don't want to take the shine away from the person who's making the accomplishment, because you also don't want to make it seem like the accomplishment had anything to do with their race. But at the same time, I think it's important to point out that this shit did not, the Jim Crow, slavery, none of this was that long ago. And we make it seem long ago. We put all of MLK's pictures in black and white. We put, we make it seem like it's such ancient history when it was really not that long ago. It was just in the early 70s that women were even allowed to have like bank accounts by themselves. And so, I mean, I think it's important to point out just so that we can remind people.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think, I didn't think about it until someone said, stop putting these pictures from the 60s in black and white. There was color film, put that shit in color, because black and white makes us think sepia, which makes us think, it was the 1800s. No, bitch, this was your parents.
People were still, had a sheet over their head and don't move. Don't
right.
move.
And people were like, because they thought this flash would kill them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was like
steal your soul or some shit.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's important to remind people that this shit is still, we still have not, it's hilarious that some people need reminding, but equal footing is a fallacy. And yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna let you take this next one because I know your feelings.
I was so happy when I read this. What's up, Susie? Y'all, Nicole Hannah-Jones channeled her inner Tamika. Mm-hmm. Remember last time we talked about, what should she do? Because they just had the vote, UNC had, and they had just said, okay, we'll give you tenure. And remember, I said I would tell them to kiss my ass, right? But I was like, but my HR expert husband would be like, well, it's tenure, and take it and then tell them to kiss your ass because you have tenure. Mm-hmm. So I was super excited to read that she was like, with your tenure, and I'm gonna take my talents to Howard.
Yes. She is on some next level fuck that job energy. Dr. Brittany James, who was also a guest on the show, that's like her motto. It's fuck that job. We may or may not have talked about this before, but how Gen Z, millennials, but especially Gen Z, they already got 5 hustles. They already have 5 side hustles. So they don't need whatever it is you think you can give them with your little job. They're not going to be there more than 3 years anyway. They're not staying. And I think we can learn something from them. Mm-hmm. We can learn that, as Cortland always says, this is their job. Mm-hmm. Not your job, it's their job. And they can take it away whenever they want to. Stop acting like, like this job. You give so much loyalty to a job that doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah. And I don't know if for the longest time, I thought there was some faulty wiring with me. Because that's always where I've been. I have always been like, look, I make these vacation days to take them. You are not going to tell me that I can't. You are not going to tell me this is not a good time. I don't give a shit about your good time, because I could step out and get hit by a bus and you will just replace me. You'll just keep it moving.
You will.
So why do I have to, so the whole fuck this job thing is kind of like, and now I'm not saying that I haven't been blessed with the ability to maintain that level of,
it comes from a place of privilege, but sometimes
I just
understanding that your mental health is a priority, that your physical health is a priority, that you are a priority. Look, let me tell you something. I know I interrupted you, but I need to tell you about this. 2 things. I'm going to read a post that a friend of mine who's a life coach posted today. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And then I'm going to tell y'all about a little breakdown I had this morning. Mm-hmm. I was, trying to do it without having another breakdown.
No breakdowns. Take a sip.
Okay. Yeah. Let me take a sip because I'm already feeling, I'm feeling wavery. Mm-hmm. This morning, I was trying to do something at home. Well, okay. I'm going to just give y'all all the goods. So I was taking out the trash when I realized that I hadn't taken out the trash. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta go take out the trash. When did you take out the trash? Trash can had maggots on it. So I freaked out. Now, not the recycling can, but the regular can. I freaked out, but I had to get it down fast. So I had to do a whole bunch of hosing and all kind of stuff. But I was in the middle of working one of my 2 direct reports quit, and she should have. I mean, she got another job somewhere else within our organization, and she should have. And I gave her the most glowing review ever because she needed to get the fuck out.
Right.
But guess what? That means I get a lot of her work until we replace her. I was working from, early this morning until 30 minutes before the show started. I had a conference that I was on all day on video. And I had my to-do list, and I went, after I would finish a big task, and I would go, that took me hours, and I went to my to-do list, and there was only one check mark thing checked off, and I had a little breakdown, and I was like, why do I put so much of my self-worth in how many boxes I can check off of this list? It's fucking stupid that I put so much of my self-worth in how productive I can be. And I had a moment because I know I do this to myself. Of course, our structure, our society is set up, does it as well, but I can resist it. And I don't resist it. And I'm so angry, but I'm so angry that I don't know how to identify my self-worth beyond what I have accomplished. And it was such an infuriating and frustrating moment for me because I was just like, I can say I'm enough. And I think I believe it until I can't check some shit off my list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. I mean, and that is a journey. That's not a destination. Like you don't get there and you're like, oh, I'm enough. It's just kind of like, in this moment, I don't feel like it. In this moment, I'm feeling, the fallacy of productivity. I'm feeling I haven't done enough with my life at this point.
And I think that I wholeheartedly reject grind culture, that I'm better if I'm busy, but I still believe that it's become part of my DNA.
Yeah.
Like we'll be around the house, sitting around talking with the kids, and they'll be like, Mom, sit down. And I'm like, I can't sit down. It just feels weird for me to just sit down and chill.
Yeah.
And I've got to figure out how to, manipulate my DNA in such a way that we got to stop. Okay, let me just skip to the post I wanted to read before I get all emotional and shit. A life coach, she wrote, for those who refuse to use their PTO, a story. I have a friend who had 3 impacted wisdom teeth extracted on Friday. Now, for those who don't know, they had to be cut out, so this shit was surgery. Sis was put to sleep, got stitches, the whole 9. Anyway, sis can't eat real food, only Jell-O, pudding, soup, and not hot soup. Mashed potatoes or any soft food that doesn't require chewing. Sis is also on 3 meds, an antibiotic, Motrin 800, and hydrocodone, a whole narcotic. Her face is also swollen, and she out here looking like fat bastard in Austin Powers. Sis texted her manager and asked if she could work from home and was told that she had to take PTO. Notice she was trying not to call out and was willing to work, but was told she had PTO. Sis said, okay, and asked for PTO until Wednesday. Now, she had surgery on Friday, asked for PTO until Wednesday, and stated that if she feels better before then, she'll come on in. The manager's response, through Wednesday? You need to try to come in tomorrow. Okay. Now let's back up to the hydrocodone. In case you've never had an opioid painkiller before, understand that you can't even hold your head up on this here.
No, ma'am.
You think you're asleep when in real life you're awake and fully aware of everything going on around you. This narcotic happens to be one of the best prescribed for dental pain, but can be addictive. Anywho, not only did sis let it be known that she is on the narcotic, like Ike Turner voice, and in pain, she also sent a picture of her face in all its Rasputia-esque glory.
Not Rasputia.
It's in the post. And she is still expected to show up to work today. Did I mention that sis is still numb and tingling from the middle of her bottom lip to her right ear? No? Oh yeah, she's a whole mess out here. I said all of this to say Them damn folk don't give a flying fuck about you.
Mm-mm.
If you don't feel like going to work, call the hell out. If you are sick, call the hell out. If you just want to take PTO because you've earned it, use that shit. These jobs ain't giving you kudos for not using your PTO. You're just a damn cotton picker that helps them make their bottom line. Some of y'all will go to work half dead. And if you fell out on them folks' floor, they call the paramedics to come get you and give you points for leaving early. Mm-hmm. If you die, your job will be posted so they can find your replacement before your damn body is cold. Use that PTO, period. It's there for a reason, and you earned it. Y'all worry about jobs you don't even like, but them bitches don't give a damn about losing you. The end.
The end. It's real. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, we hoard it like we're gonna get a trophy.
Right.
And if you are hoarding your PTO, you are not in danger of quitting said job to get the payout. So
and trust me, the payout is capped. So
and I'm always on team. Take your time. My hubs stays with the shits. He stays with weeks of time. And I'm like, bro, why?
But because he feels good working.
He does. Like, retirement is a joke for him.
Right.
He's gonna drive me fucking crazy during retirement. But like, it's one of those things. Like, as a teacher, it was particularly, you know, frowned upon to take this time because you were supposed to be watching other people's kids all day. I'm like, I want to drown all of them. Like, I want a tsunami to come into my classroom and drown everybody right now. And it's because I earn however many hours per month and you don't let me take them. No time is a good time when you're a teacher to take PTO.
Yes, Dana.
But I have a trick for them. I took my PTO.
It's part of your employment contract. Those hours belong to you.
And people will be like, well, what are you are you going to a conference? No, I'm going to watch Netflix. That's what I'm going to do during that 8-hour PTO time.
Get out of here, Jazzy.
Wake up when I fucking feel like it. I'm going to not put on clothes. I'm not going to shower. I'm not going to check email. I'm going to eat bonbons and watch General Hospital if that's what the fuck I want to do.
If that's what the fuck I want to do.
And it's my time.
You know what I used to do? When you request your PTO, there's a box where you can put comments in. I used to say, I'm going to be doing such and such. And I was like, why the fuck am I telling you what I'm doing? That's none of your business what I'm doing on my PTO.
And that's what I used to write. They'd be like, please state your reason for requesting time off. And I would write, because it's my time off.
There you go.
I had big dick energy long before it was a thing. Kevin would be like, Hubs would be like, okay. That's certainly one way. Yeah. I'm like, what are they gonna do? What's the worst that can happen? Okay.
So let me just add, we also didn't have here. Did you see where Cornel West quit Harvard?
Yes.
And basically he was like, y'all don't appreciate me, y'all don't care about me, and I'm done. And there was something, his very last sentence, and I promise you that when my day comes, I will use this line. He said, whatever his grievances were, and then he said, with precious memories and with absolutely no regrets, Cornel P. West. And I was like, ooh.
From here on out.
From here on out.
Precious memories and absolutely
no.
No regrets. No regrets.
None. Not nan. Okay.
Man. I just don't, we have this conversation in different iterations. We look at these athletes that are now not waiting to be traded and being like, I want to get up out of here. And I'm like, all of this is the same. It's from the same vine. It's the same tree. It's I literally I have to be team of me because you're team of you.
Yes,
you're not team of me. And you want me to be team of you until you decide I'm not the answer anymore.
Right.
And
what does that t-shirt say? I'm matching energy.
Matching energy. I'm matching energy. And I have always been that person. I give as good as I get.
Yes.
Full stop.
Full stop.
It doesn't matter who it is. Hubs, you, sisters, mother, father, it doesn't matter. I give as good as I get.
Yes.
It's good energy saving. It's
Yes.
like it's like sleep mode. It's like,
Yes.
oh, so are we doing that today?
Yes. Okay, so our comments are going off, which I love. HR professional here in Grand Dame Queen. I would literally be asked by managers when someone died, when the requisition would be posted, the day we would find out about their death.
Bro, the death certificate hasn't been signed.
Nope.
And a cause has not been given.
Right. Right. Jazzy is forwarding her boss is forwarding urgent emails during her time in another country.
On vacay.
On vacay.
It's on the calendar. You approved it.
And requested. Yes.
You've approved it. So the last job that I had, I loved my manager because she was like, I was going on a cruise. And, you know, I had only been with the company a couple of months when that happened. But I told them when I got hired, look, I committed to this cruise and that shit is happening. So I'm sorry, I was trying to like hide. So when the time came for the cruise, I was like, well, you know, first I have to go to Orlando. And she's like, up. This is your time. It has been approved. Yes. Leave your work phone at home. We will figure it out. That is what happened. If you died, if your plane crashes on the way, we'll figure it out. So
right.
That would happen. But she was just like, that's the attitude. And I was like, you're right. And the only reason I was even thinking of doing that was because, you know, critical time and, you know, you hired me and this is the thing. And she's like, no. So every time I took time off, she was like, oh, I will not be bothering you for anything. Yes. I will either handle it or it'll be there when you get back. And I really appreciated that about her because she's the first manager I ever had who was on that page. Ever.
That's
who was like, say you have the time. Even if you don't have the time, I worked per hour. So if I don't have time, guess what? You're just not paying me.
Right.
I definitely was on team when it was that. When I'm working when I'm working for my peanuts, I'm like, oh, I can do without the peanuts. I'm good.
Yeah. So again, all of these folks again are coming from a place of privilege. But so to Nicole Hannah Jones and Cornell West,
cheers.
Cheers. We're here for it.
Cheers. Cheers.
Somebody wait, get that out from in front of your face and do it again.
Oh.
You had your face covered. Somebody screen cap this, please.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Yeah.
Suffice it to say that made me happy.
Yes. What is Jared Leto doing?
Okay, listen.
Or is it Leto?
Leto.
Okay.
It's Leto.
I always say Leto, but I think it's Leto. Yeah.
Okay, so there was a UFC fight over the weekend. I don't fuck with UFC because I'm not a pugilist fan. I don't like people beating each other up. But Conor McGregor fought, so it was a big to-do. Well, Jared Leto showed up like this. Okay.
I mean, that's on brand.
It is on brand. But what was great was the memes that came out of it. This was my favorite one. Jared Leto doesn't give a fuck about the assignment. Okay. People were like, Jared Leto is about to sell a fuck ton of Tupperware at my mom's party. They were like, Jared Leto looks like he was picked to star in a Three's Company prequel about a young Matt Hurley. I mean, the memes were amazing. Okay. I was here for it. There it is. A shitload of product at my mom's Tupperware party in 1989.
There you go.
Making bras uncomfortable. I'm here for it. I mean, I cackled. And listen, I did not go to social media to find this out. This came to me from BuzzFeed.
Damn.
So I'm on Twitter right now because it was easier to find all of the.
Yeah,
I was so. When you need a giggle, y'all. This is why it's hard for me to quit social media, even for the moment, right? Because Jared Leto then comes and gives us this. People are like, this is my energy from here on out. Jared Leto watching the peasants battle each other.
That's the whole story.
Yes. like a bad bitch at the fights. I mean, people like grafted this into the Scooby-Doo memes. That they were making him Fred.
I mean, he is Fred.
So I was just like, this was another one of my favorites. Looks like he's about to explain an awesome new job opportunity where you can work from home part-time selling essential oils, making $100,000 a year. I was like, yes, that is how he looks. That is real talk. So a Barton Bella.
Yes.
And he's about to be 50. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah.
He looks like Wonka to me, like the Johnny Depp version of Willy Wonka.
Yeah. I mean, and he's just that dude. And that's what I like about him. Like, he's like, oh, dude, I've been not giving a fuck about the assignment. Right. What assignment? Yeah, there's a think piece that was written about why we should ignore the assignment. I was like, Jared Leto doesn't give a fuck about your assignment. Like, it was great. Great.
You were right.
It was a great like timeline cleanser.
Yes. Even though you don't have a timeline right now because you're also.
I don't. I've been doing really good. Like today, I went on our Twitter to post that we were going to be on, and I went on Instagram only to put in my story that this was happening, and then I was like, no.
Yes. I love it. Him and Joaquin Phoenix don't give a fuck. Okay. So, and we're here. To be clear, we're here for Jared Leto.
Yes.
Not hating on him in the slightest bit.
We are here for him. Love it.
Also here for Martha May Ophelia Moon Tucker. If you don't know who she is, you haven't been on social media. But she is a 94-year-old woman. I hate to say like 94-year-old grandmother or great-grandmother because she's a woman.
Right.
Who never got the traditional wedding. And so she never got to try on wedding dresses. And until recently. And I was looking at this like, okay, my mama at 81, not even grandmama, would not have had a V that deep in her dress. So I'm like, no, Miss Martha May.
No.
Give it to the people. Okay.
Give it to the people. Okay. This is her.
Yes.
Well, it sparked a
people. Go ahead, babe.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead because you were talking.
I was just gonna say the group of people who were with her. I mean, it was basically everybody was in tears because this is her moment that she never got.
Never got it. Mm-hmm. And it also sparked this conversation about the fact that a lot of Black women prior to, I don't know, desegregation, didn't wear white wedding dresses unless they made them by hand because they weren't allowed in wedding salons. They weren't allowed in wedding dress salons. Mm-mm. So on a lot of levels, this is big for her, even though this was the 50s when she got married the first time or when she originally was married. Back to our point earlier about the fact that it wasn't that long ago that, there were things that we couldn't do. Nope. There were places that we couldn't be. There were, things that we take for granted today. We laugh, oh, you wearing white on your, oh, okay, I see you. But taking for granted the fact that that is just what brides do. Yeah. When, for the longest time, that is not what brides did, not Black brides. They wore what they had. They wore something nice, or they, wore a gown that had been in the family or whatever color it was. And that was that.
Yeah, my mother didn't get married in white. She was married in 58. She did not wear white. I mean, granted, she also didn't know she was getting married that day, but that's a whole other story. She had a surprise wedding. Surprise, we get married, bitch. Yeah, that was just like you said. Yeah, that was yesterday, basically. In the whole grand scheme of time, that was yesterday. So anyway, we honor you, Martha May Ophelia Moon Tucker. And my whole name is Azali Kenyatta Greer, and I might have y'all start calling me by the whole name.
Right? No, man.
Because Martha May Ophelia Moon Tucker, I am here for.
I mean, all the names.
All the names. She got all of them. And if you don't have May in your name, are you even really Black?
My mother-in-law's middle name is May.
Yes. I mean, there you go.
My mother doesn't have a middle name, but yeah, May seems right.
It seems right. My mother adds May to everybody's name.
Yes.
What your name is, she adds May to.
Yes, she does. Did she just have a birthday? Did I miss it because I'm not on social?
Yep.
Happy birthday. Pass along my regards, please.
I will. She turned 81.
Woo!
Yes.
81.
And just too cute, aging backwards.
He is. That's real.
Your favorite person has left the view. I know that you absolutely love her. She made that announcement like people were gonna all bye, Felicia.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah, Megan McCain.
Yes, a whole bag. Multiple bags of them on the way out. Choke on them.
Yeah, really. I mean, deuces. Ain't nobody gonna miss you. Right now, I might watching it. Ain't nobody here to see you, Otis.
Oh man, I see. Dang, I should have queued that up. Ain't nobody here to see you, Otis. You see the video of the baby doing it. Oh, he's not a baby. He's like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
like,
from the Inky Boys. Yeah, he's so good.
I love him.
I follow them.
But
yeah, if you don't follow the Inky Boys, follow you. That little boy just booked a movie. He just booked a movie. Yeah, they were very excited and announcing yesterday he booked a movie, but it's ENKY, Inky Boys.
Okay.
T Rain. Yeah.
I probably won't watch because they'll probably work really hard to replace her with someone even worse because they seem to, in that seat, they've gone from, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who was to Candace Cameron, who was to, just how they landed on Meghan McCain anyway. Like, that's the best and worst you could come up. Like, I mean, I expect him to get Judge Janine next,
Damn.
Or
don't say her name. But
okay, her.
She who must not be named.
Well, there's several blondes who should not be named.
Yeah, I was talking about a brunette. The one I hate. We don't say her name here. Her initials are CO.
Oh, nah. That would just be too much fun for Whoopi.
Oh, I think they would be some hands.
It would be some hands.
There would be some hands.
There would be some hands.
Have y'all seen Jada's new do?
No.
Jada, well, I don't know if you've noticed, but Jada Pinkett Smith over the past several months has been wearing head wraps. Everywhere. She's just had her hair wrapped. And she talked about having some hair loss, some alopecia over the past few years. But you can see it because she always wore her hair short. I mean, in recent years, she's always worn her hair short. Well, apparently it was pretty bad. And her daughter Willow recently told her, Mommy, let it go. Just let it go. And she is bald as of
let me see.
Yeah, you gotta go see it. And she got the face for it though. You'd be like, oh.
I mean, her little ass.
I know.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you gonna put it up there? Yes. So Jada is rocking the baldy, and I mean, she's gorgeous. That's undeniable.
Right.
Her beauty is undeniable. But you see all the pictures in the head wraps because that's just what she's been doing lately. And thank you for granted. I'm just seeing that. Thank you for not finishing. You put them dots there. But yeah, Jada's, first of all, she's rich. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Big facts.
I don't care what people think. But she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And her hair did not make her gorgeous. And I love that Willow convinced her to let it go.
You know what's funny about Jada these days is I'll see her or I'll see Gammy and be like, oh, I mean, they look so much alike now.
They do.
And yeah, Gabby's just so cute. I mean, she is so cute to me.
She's
like
beautiful, and she's fine.
Okay.
She is fine.
Like, I don't put youngsters up to be like, I want to look like that. I put up Gammy. I'm like, shit. Okay. Okay. But yes.
That part. Yeah. So I'm here for it.
Go ahead on, Jada.
You know, just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna be a slave to these hair wraps anymore. I'm not gonna be a slave to these gaps in my hair. This does not define my beauty. Yeah, it has to be frustrating to have this decision made for you, though. Absolutely. She was, yeah. She was rocking the head wraps. Don't get it twisted. But when you're already experiencing hair loss, that's only going to exacerbate the problem with the friction.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I don't know. I mean, if anybody saw her in The Matrix, I mean, she had the Bantu knots and all that, you know, but that was before people were wearing Bantu knots. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that bald is becoming a thing. Like, I'm not going to do it because I got a bump on my head. And until I get that drained or seen about or whatever, like, there's no danger. But, you know, one of my sisters has done it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it works. And I think
I'm going to do it because my face is too round. But trust, if one day magically my whole phenotype changes.
I think it's great to see people who, I mean, Jada's never been about her hair. She's never been like, oh, it's my hair, you know. Willow has already done the shaved head thing a long time ago. You know, I mean, so I think it's important that Jada's like, you know, here it is, here I am. And people will, we know, Grandame, you would definitely do it. I'm waiting.
Yes, we know.
I'm waiting for you to set the tone.
Right.
Set the standard. But yeah, no, I support it.
Yes. Here for it.
Here for it.
What do we got next? Oh, the people. Right, it might be a bridge too far for Sam. I'm trying to be enlightened, but they still have ties to the old ideology.
Yeah, tell him he can wear his hair long if it's a. I could just see that conversation now, like.
Right. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. Y'all, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. The people are talking. And I'm here for people feeling empowered to speak their truth. I'm here for people feeling empowered to resist oppressive regimes, not necessarily here for assassinating.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, now draw the line at assassination.
Right, draw the line at assassination. But yeah,
especially since there's like what 2 Americans caught up in that shit in the assassination. Well, it's not in Haiti. They succeeded, but in Haiti.
If y'all haven't seen that, so there's Haiti, and then there are peaceful protests. As of the last time I checked, there were peaceful protests in both Cuba and South Africa. The Cuban folk, I was looking today at how people are starving, literally starving in Cuba, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
That inflation, and they're starving because of inflation. People are standing in line for hours and hours and hours. There, you know, a mango that used to cost 5 Cuban pesos now costs 20 Cuban pesos. And people are literally making 250 Cuban pesos a month is what people are earning. And 10 of those are supposed to go toward a mango. That the price of everything is out of control. And people are not able, the cost to convert to US dollars, lots of people in Cuba are taking US dollars. But the cost to convert to US dollars is astronomical, and people can't afford to convert their pesos even. Their 250 Cuban pesos is equal to, I read, 10 US dollars a month. Is what they have. Yeah. Yes. Is that not
bonkers?
Crazy.
Bonkers.
And people are standing in line for hours and hours on end to get groceries that run out, or can't afford. They can only afford a portion of it. People are literally starving in Cuba because of inflation. And what's happening is the news reports are showing that they are protesting over vaccinations. And they're like, yeah, that's a thing, but no. That's just a thing.
And the other thing too is that they, for the longest time, said that they were a socialist republic.
Yes.
And that is fodder for these nut jobs over here when they say, that there's a socialist agenda, when it's like, that's actually, you can call it whatever you want to. They could call it a democracy if they wanted to.
Sure could.
They do what the fuck they want. And so calling it a socialist republic is what makes, you remember how we were talking about like the different brown segments that vote, right? And Cubans largely seem to vote Republican because that word socialism, because that's what they think they came from.
Yep.
And so when they, say these things like, oh, we're not here for the socialist agenda, it's like, that's not socialism. That's not the definition of socialism. That's not how socialism looks when it's enacted. How can that and what Canada and some of these other countries do also, how can all of that be socialism?
Right.
So, I think that it's tragic, but it's helpful to these nut jobs here to continue perpetuating this lie that, that's what we're moving toward. And all this thing. Meanwhile, we got, segments of the population spending their money going to space, not trying to help solve food crises and these sorts of things. And it's like, so this isn't democracy. Like, this isn't the definition of that either. This is not the opposite of what you're doing. This is still, somebody has to decide, and somebody is getting rich and somebody is staying poor, and the segment in between is shrinking, so.
I saw this meme that I sent to my son's girlfriend yesterday, she's a big activist. But it said 8 dudes have as much wealth as 4 billion people. But yes, the person in front of you in line at the store with food stamps is the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're absolutely the problem.
Yeah. And we have these dudes who are fulfilling their childhood fantasies of, seeing the earth from space when Cubans are starving to death over inflation.
When there's so many things that you could be doing to literally cement a legacy of goodwill. Yeah. You're like, I just want to go to the moon. And then what?
Yeah. And here's the thing. You have so much money that you could stop making money right now and be rich for the rest of your life. And so could your children and your children's children and your children's children's children.
And you can also do both.
Yes.
Go to the moon and you can still be helpful to mankind.
Yes. But why you need to go to the moon though?
Yeah.
I mean, really though. Why? I mean,
I don't know.
It's a real question. Why? What are you planning to do there that is helpful to humanity? Or you just want to flex that you went to the moon?
And people are like, oh, this is going to create jobs. And this is going to, no, it's not. And for who? Oh, this is going to be, new travel. For who?
For the same people that when the earth starts to crumble, they're going to be on their ark. I know I sound real
No. What's that movie with Matt Damon, Elysium? That's what they're hoping. They're going to leave all of the can'ts and never coulds down here.
Yes.
And they're going to figure out how to prevent I can do it, and leave it to the I got it like that people living up there. That's all it's going to be. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, Jazzy, I read somewhere that he makes basically a little over $2,400 per second.
Per second.
Since we've been doing this, I don't do math, but it's a shit ton. It's a shit ton of money he made since we've been doing this.
Per second. There's 3,600 seconds in an hour.
Yeah. So there you go. But the people are speaking, and watch out because
The people united will never be defeated.
And when they say revolution is the language of the oppressed, isn't that what it is? Or riot is the language of the oppressed.
Riots, but same difference.
Yep. There you go. All right, that was our A block. Here for it. Those are all the things we're here for. Y'all sticking it out. Y'all doing the doggone thing, and we get to the good part now. This is the part where we get to really bag on people. So
yes,
join us if you will, while we get into our beast block called "They Tried It."
They tried it.
Come on, let's do it.
It's a seat right here.
Yeah,
you can sit with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna talk about the Olympics and Black women. And yes, Jazzy, they stay trying it.
I'm over the Olympic powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over them, and I want to start by saying I'm not questioning the rule where Sha'Carri is concerned. I'm not questioning the rule. It is a rule. It's antiquated.
We know what it's based in.
Yeah, and the rule should be living. So again, if the rule is don't take performance enhancing drugs, then we should reevaluate what performance enhancing drugs are.
Yeah. THC, which is what they found,
is not a performance enhancer in any shape or form.
No.
I also would like to know if everyone was tested as soon as they stopped running or doing whatever it was they did to qualify for the Olympics. I want to know if everybody had a test at the same time, or was it just her in her long nails and orange hair and I'm that bitch vibe. I want to know.
Yeah. Hubs gets randomly drug tested at his job all the time. He'd be like, damn, I thought it was supposed to be random, but my shit is like every month.
Well, and I find that, and I'm gonna talk about some white people right quick. Mm-hmm. There was a player for the New England Patriots who I, as a team, despise, who was at a Kentucky Derby a few years ago, and he won his horse race, and he was, making it rain and throwing money up and all that shit. And he said he got back on Monday and he had a slip in his locker. Now, this was off season, but because of his behavior, basically, and he failed the test, but it was off season. It wasn't during the season, and it was weed. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, where she was in Oregon, she found out from a reporter that her biological mother died.
Yes.
And she proceeded to cope.
Yep.
The way that she knew how. And what cracks me up, and not at all funny, haha, but just like, really, if she had chosen to cope with hydrocodone or Toradol or any of these other drugs that they will willingly give you if you sprain your ankle or any of those things, then no problem.
Yeah.
But she was in Oregon where it's legal to cop and consume said product.
Absolutely. I love she said, how dare you be this fast? What Jazzy said.
This fast.
Yep. What's the other runner's name? The one who's
Gwen. No, she's not a runner.
No. Runner who
she had an abortion.
She's brilliant. She's we talked about it last. Is it Jordan?
Oh, Allison Felix?
No. It's the one gosh, she has like some
because she just graduated from Harvard and I think her last name is Jordan.
Yeah. She was basically like, okay, people, I get it, but all y'all Black folks are now boycotting the Olympics. And
Brianna McNeil.
Gabrielle.
I'm getting multiple names.
Right. But she was like, y'all are boycotting the Olympics, and there's still a lot of Black athletes who have trained for years for this moment, and we would really love your support. And Sha'Carri was basically like, y'all, some people are coming out their mouth. I mean, Sha'Carri, she she tapped into herself and was like, you know, some of y'all just need to hush because people are supporting because they believe in the cause. And look, I feel both of you. I really do. I understand that you have been, training your whole life.
So has Shikari.
Right. Shikari.
Oh, Shikari. Okay.
Yeah, for a moment like this. You've been training your whole life, but are you bigger than the movement? Are you bigger than the cause?
And, I said back when they were like no political messages and singled out Black Lives Matter that I wished Black athletes would be like, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good on the Olympics, because I see what this is about to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was Shikari. There was an athlete of last year. I think she's still serving a suspension because she missed a drug test because she had an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to disclose the fact that she had an abortion as a reason for missing the test. And, obviously a woman, but a Black woman. And, they were like, well, just because you had an abortion doesn't mean you could have forgotten that you had this test. And it's just like, do you old white men understand
care
any of the trauma that would go into? Yes, you have the choice, but still it's a traumatic experience. It's a surgery for all intents and purposes. And yeah, I had other shit on my mind because look what happened to Allison Felix when she got pregnant, right?
Yep.
She lost all her sponsorship. So again, you guys are unbending when it comes to certain rules.
Mm-hmm.
And then understanding when it was Michael Phelps using weed because he's, got anxiety and all these sorts of things. I don't recall Michael Phelps serving a suspension.
Keep that same energy. Nope.
Keep that same energy. This company that makes the black swim caps.
Oh.
That the Olympic Committee banned because no one's head is that big. It doesn't follow the natural shape of the head.
And elite athletes shouldn't need specialty headgear.
And I'm just saying, you're the T-Rexes in Jurassic Park testing the fences. Mm-hmm. You're trying to see what you can get away with. I mean, now they're rethinking that, and inclusivity matters, and blah 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 blah. It always mattered, and no one ever won a swimming competition in open waters because this was the person, the British woman, the first one ever to qualify in the open water marathon or whatever for Great Britain, who has natural hair.
How do they think that her having a swim cap that can accommodate her hair is going to be an advantage to her in any way?
Correct. Because what you didn't say was, if it's all that, then shave it off. Because that was the unspoken part, which is back to controlling Black bodies, controlling their hair, controlling how they look, and making decisions. Like, okay, I'm not saying that you can't participate. We're just saying it's got to look a certain way. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And what is it going to be next?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be you got too many Black people on your gymnastics squad? There's two. Mm-hmm. There's never been, there's been two at a time before when it was Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles. But before that, it was one and some possibles.
Right.
One of the people who were like, I mean, my grandma's Black, but I don't really talk about her. Like, the rest of it is, yeah. But yeah. Mm-hmm. What is it going to be?
Well, we're going to have to devalue that vault because
correct,
abnormally strong thighs.
Yeah, we're going to question whether or not you're really a woman because you have abnormally high testosterone.
Yeah,
she doesn't have anything to do with that. It
right.
just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Yeah, Black.
But, and why are we testing your testosterone anyway?
Yeah,
why
because
are we calculating your testosterone?
Manly. what does that mean? Because you smoke in the competition?
Right. That's what that's about.
Because this has traditionally been where white women excelled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Since this is something that's not on the list, but I needed to write it. You haven't been on social media. I'm gonna need you to otherwise Google Victoria's Secret Karen. Okay. See if you can Google it while we're talking, and I will and watch this video, and I will give a brief synopsis of what happened. It was posted on TikTok, so there's a part 1 and 2 on the IG. What do you call it? The long videos on IG. I'm having a brain fart.
Reels?
No. When something's just anyway, but on IG on the long videos, somebody put part 1 and part 2 together. But basically, there's a Black woman in Victoria's Secret.
It's you. Now you are.
There you go. I can hear it. Yes. There's a weaponizing.
I can't watch it because you'll be able to hear it. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I want you to show it. But she is weaponizing the
okay.
out of her tears. And let's take a moment and watch Victoria's Secret Karen.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah, get bigger.
Do you see this? Oh my God! I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now she. Did you see her?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so Dee said it's on YouTube too.
This is a YouTube, but it won't let me make it bigger.
Breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your work.
Hold on.
Okay. Ask your workers. She tried
okay, so take it back to the beginning so you can see her try to hit her.
She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Okay, no, it's you. It's you. Now you are. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you see this? Oh my God. I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she. Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you.
Look at that person at the counter. She's like,
oh my God.
Oh, it gets worse.
Feel real. This do not feel real.
I want to see the actual wetness because I don't believe there's any.
Y'all got to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry. I should call security. Thank you. I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail?
Yes. Yes, the free panties. We have all gone for the free panties.
Don't charge me. Oh, you wanna? Yeah, she. I'm scared to even approach her. Please.
Don't record my mental breakdown.
Bitch, bye.
Like you gotta go postal. No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
Thank you,
walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go.
Right. The other customers go tell sis, why don't you walk away from her? Bitch, you want to fight too?
Right.
Yes.
What are you doing? Yoga?
Hell no. Wait, it gets That's her.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait. But look at the people are still checking folk out. They still put the tissue paper in them bags.
I have a coupon for the free panty, and it says everyone is excluded except for the period panty. But I actually want to see what that was.
Oh, just wait.
She is like, I'm transacting business now.
Right. Okay, now go to part 2 though.
All right, hold on.
Jazzy said she made a pillow. Yes.
All right.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
Your face.
Yeah. Crazy lady. In case she attacked me and try to say I attacked her. You come. Look at this. Away from me! Oh, y'all better get this lady. Get away from me! You better. You look at this. That's security. Get that water. Get that water. Look at this. Yes, can y'all get her away from me? Get her away from me! Get her away from me!
Get her away from me, bitch. You are running after her.
Get her away from me!
If you want me to believe you're mental, then piss yourself.
Oh, I gotta just protect myself. She's trying to attack me. No. Stop threatening me! See, and she's saying I'm threatening her. I'm not saying nothing to her. It's to protect me. Once the law get here, who they gonna believe? Her white ass or my black ass?
No! There you go.
Get her away from me, please! Stop her recording from me! Where is security? And it's Short Hills, y'all. Oh my God! And it's Short Hills. Get her away! I gotta stop coming here. This is the safe mode.
Where is this?
I don't know. I don't know which store. Right. Start vomiting and everything.
Yes, I need to see all of it. I need you to start throwing feces or something.
Right.
If you want me to believe you're mental.
Short, she keeps going with this. Security showed up and basically tried to talk the black lady down. Long story short.
Rude.
Yeah. So Karen is again
Unacceptable.
Yeah, Karen is again trending because this trick. I think it was a separate video.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. Short Hills Mall in New Jersey. There you go. Vicky's Secret Karen tried it. Y'all. She went with the stop threatening. She used her tears weapon, the best white woman weapon. It's been working for hundreds of years. Then she added in the stop threatening me. She is skilled
in the ways of Karening.
In the ways of Karening. Then she added the appeal to the people around her. Yeah, the white woman you just passed also asked the lady filming to leave her alone because she's sick. Yeah, she asked people around her for help. That it was an entreaty to her fellow white people to get her away from me, get her phone away from her, take away her proof, get her phone away from her, and get her away from me as she steadily is chasing this one. And then, she's so good because she said, don't film my mental breakdown. Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
And see, this is where I am with, we have managed to weaponized isn't even the right word. We have sullied the waters of mental health.
Oh gosh,
we've talked about this multiple times on this show about how we could just scream, oh, it's a mental health issue. We've labeled, people who walk into salons and murder people, we just say they have a mental health issue, and it's like, oh, okay. And no, this is why we need to be more careful saying shit like that, because here she is laying in the floor talking about, don't film my mental health breakdown. You're not having a mental health breakdown, bitch. Right. You got caught trying to fight somebody. You got caught trying to slap somebody, to put hands on a black woman.
Right. Who could have laid your ass out, I guarantee.
She needs to go back and watch the DMV video from back in the day where that white lady charged that black woman. She gave her the beats.
Yeah, this woman instead chose to protect herself wisely. Don't get it twisted, but chose to protect herself with video evidence. She said, who they gonna believe when security gets here? Who they gonna believe? Her white ass or my black ass? Because
all those white people standing around, did you wait until security got there, or did you dip?
Right.
To tell the truth.
Yeah. Oh, and immediately went to telling her to move away from the woman.
I'm not even standing close to the woman.
Right. And why is it I have to move? Why is my body the one that is wrong? Girl. Yeah, I needed you to see that one. Yeah. I mean, she's a master of her craft.
Wow.
A master of her craft.
Just wow.
Yeah, and yes, D, take away her property. Bitch. Get her phone from her, please.
See, and that's why I know there is a God, because shit like that doesn't happen to me. It doesn't happen to anyone that I'm with.
Yes. Because
again, if security is going to get called, then they might as well get called to an actual scene. And I'm not a fighter. I've never been in a fight, but this shit right here, this is what we're not going to do.
Right.
This is what we're not going to do. That woman did not call her a bitch. She didn't call her no name. She didn't walk up on her and get in her face and go, no. She didn't do none of that.
Nope.
And still she was asked to remove herself. No.
Yeah.
No. No. No.
Mm-hmm. That part. I know. Okay. We can continue. Talk about your girl Britt.
I mean, I'm just, we talked about her last week and last time, and how sad her conservatorship hearing was. And after all of that, the judge was still like, yeah, but we're going to leave it in place. Mm-hmm. And I saw a newsstand say that she got married over the weekend or something.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, she married somebody.
What? I don't know. I thought she was already married.
Oh, maybe she was. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Yeah.
She was on the cover of some magazines, but it's just after all of that, after all of, controlling her body, controlling Britney Spears, when she can procreate and when she can't, and if she can procreate and if she can't, and controlling her money and all of that.
Toxic paternalism.
They left that shit in place.
Unbelievable.
I
mean, the whole world had Britney's back.
Everybody. The Republicans and the Democrats were all standing in solidarity about conservatorships.
Yes. Mm-hmm. There's a third part too of the video court.
I don't want to know about the third part.
I know. I think that's where the cops were there.
Yeah. I don't want to know about the third part.
Yeah, hit them with a left, hit them with a right. Yeah, there you go. Police show up. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Please tell me y'all have seen J-Lo and Ben Affleck out in these now open streets with all of the and I can't even remember what year it is. So I'm like, Groundhog Day? Did we do this?
Jenny's circling the block.
Jenny belongs to the street. Jenny belongs to the block. I mean, when I tell you that A-Rod's body is still warm.
Listen, Jenny can't be alone.
Jenny can't be alone. That's a sad, sad state of affairs.
That's the long and the short of it. Jenny can't be alone. And Jenny says, why should I have to? I had a stable of people. You know, Ben's peen was so let me just go back to that.
I mean, clearly she does not have to. She does not have to be alone.
She doesn't. I mean, even Diddy jumped up in her mentions like, well, if you're circling the block, don't forget to pass by my house.
Right. Love. I mean, yeah, I'm just like, for y'all to jump back into the vacationing with my kids, and I mean, right, his sit is still on the pillow. His sit is still on the punani. I mean,
there it is. And let's not forget, I mean, where's your pride? This bitch called off the wedding days before y'all's wedding, Benny. Then you married a different Jennifer.
Who was not feeling your shit.
I refuse to believe that Ben Affleck is putting it down like that. Like I don't believe it.
I keep waiting for some notification that they're filming a movie or something. Because I'm like, can't be. It's 2021.
And all I'm saying is, why would any dude trust it? Is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that to impugn her. She clearly is I'm doing what I want to do as long as I want to do it. And I'm here for that. Right? And when I don't want to do it no more, you got to kick rocks, bitch. That's it.
Right. D, unless she's careful, it might be ill.
It might be ill.
I don't know.
You were at the inauguration in January posing for pictures on the steps of the Capitol.
Look, I'm all for.
And days later, y'all broke up.
Getting your freak on. Get your freak on, girl. Do what the fuck you want to do.
Stop getting engaged.
But you were literally engaged to this man, and now you are literally vacationing with your children.
And his children.
With a new man.
And if I was Jennifer Garner, I would be like, do not have my children around that bitch.
I mean, really? I'm like, y'all just go get a hotel. Why gotta bring the kids into it?
She just bought a house.
Yes.
She gonna be in the Boston Red Sox hat in just a second.
Oh my God. I mean, she clearly gives no fucks about what the world thinks done. And I mean, you know.
And good for her.
Good for her. But damn.
But also,
I mean, Febreze it. Do something. We got the
more than Febreze, like
neutralize the
steam clean.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, woo.
Right. Okay, this is some ESPN shit. This is completely you.
Okay, so normally I don't do any production on fuck shit. I just don't. But this was weird. Rachel Nichols is a white woman, ESPN personality. And let me make this bigger. Well liked, respected, like, okay, cool, Well, apparently, Maria Taylor, who is a Black woman, well-respected personality, She went to University of Georgia. She played basketball. She, is that bitch. I mean, she does sideline reporting in football. She hosts a show for basketball. Last year, when the NBA resumed and they were in the bubble, apparently Rachel Nichols was feeling some kind of way about the fact that Maria Taylor got the nod to host like all the pregame things. And Horsey Butt.
Hello and welcome, Horsey Butt.
Hi, Horsey Butt. She basically went on kind of a hot mic sort of tirade about the fact that this Black woman was
I do know
given some of this work. And the tone, like I highly encourage you to go look at the article because I literally read it a couple of days ago. When I first heard about this brouhaha, I thought it was about this year's NBA finals and how no, the shit started last year.
Right.
And ESPN has been kind of working through it this whole year, trying to keep Maria and Rachel apart. And, the video, basically, I say it's sort of like a hot mic situation because Rachel had her camera on in the bubble.
Yeah.
And she was having a private conversation. So there's a lot of
to the effect of, I understand you have to meet your diversity goals, but basically not with my job. And
right. She was like, I understand that. So it was tricky because she was like, she didn't lie. ESPN has a shitty record of diversity and doing right by women, doing right by Black people, doing a lot of different things. But she also brought Maria Taylor into it and was like, but don't do that basically on my back.
She named names.
She named names. Don't do that. And then the person that she was talking to also was on team. I'm just kind of tired of, Black Lives Matter and Me Too. And I'm just exhausted. And, obviously they had this conversation. And because her camera was on, it was uploaded to ESPN servers because ESPN, it's like having this conversation on a phone that your company pays for. And then someone in HR leaked it or sent the video to Maria Taylor. And so far, she's the only person who has been, her name is Kayla Johnson. She's the only person that's been actually punished for sharing the video. She was suspended without pay for 2 weeks. And, it was just kind of this, they tried to kind of sweep it under the rug a little bit, but it reared its ugly head right around this time because Maria Taylor's contract is about to expire. And so, I put this in here for they tried it because it's one of those situations that suggests that, well-meaning white people, say that they're for the cause or whatever. And the way that this looks is like, okay, but in private, this is how I really feel. And so, Rachel and Maria, Rachel has had, she's made a public apology. She's still on TV hosting this show called The Jump. But this situation has caused a lot of division in ESPN in general because, other personalities, Jalen Rose and, Jay Williams and Kendrick Perkins and things like that have been like, ESPN, you're kind of shisty when it comes to how you handle these situations. And, we're put out as this family and put out, as your front people, but it's kind of like, I don't know if we want to keep doing that. If you're going to keep, allowing, things like this to kind of go unpunished. People have felt that Rachel Nichols wasn't really punished. Because she was allowed to stay on The Jump. And even though she wasn't allowed to do the sideline reporting or host the pregame, she's still on TV. And so, it's messy and it's ESPN's fault because this is the culture that they've bred. But also, is this a white woman feminism kind of thing? Because Rachel was kind of like, I know about some of this because this has happened to me as a woman. And while that's true, you still brought Maria Taylor into this. You could have made your point about ESPN having a shitty track record without impugning Maria Taylor's character and making it sound like,
not
she got
her character, but her skill set and her talent.
You burnt her, and you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But you did. And it's disappointing because, I like Rachel. I liked Rachel before this kind of happened. And then reading this particular article was really like, okay, this goes back, and ESPN's been trying to kind of hide it. And, it's kind of out here now. And it's just like, oh man.
Yeah. Yes. Can I just say, I love our two-timers. Can I just say that in the comments, they are really helping out our newcomer.
Yes.
To know what the show is about. We appreciate you guys.
We definitely do.
Yeah, it's absolutely a combo. So jump on in there, horsey butt. We always want to hear what you think. We don't always agree. We don't always share the same opinions. But we have a similar set of values. So jump on in here. Let us know what you think about whatever we're talking about. Right now we're in our B block, which is the They Tried It block. We try to start off with a positive block, which is where we're here for it. And now we're just dragging people who are ruining the world.
Out here bad. We're out here bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this link in the chat.
Yes.
The article, because it's a really good article, and it does a really good job of explaining like what the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really,
yeah. Okay.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because recently there was a brouhaha around Scottie Pippen, who used to play for the Bulls, saying that Phil Jackson was a racist. And, he largely based this on the fact that Phil Jackson drew up a famous play for this white guy to take the shot instead of Scottie Pippen. And, people were not disagreeing with Scottie Pippen with him saying that Phil Jackson could be a racist. They were like, but you used the wrong argument.
Yeah,
there were other things.
Your claim. Yeah.
Yeah, there was other evidence that you could and should have used if you were going to say that. And I feel like Rachel did the same thing. Like, she's making a point that ESPN is doing something that's a little bit duplicitous, but what she used, Rachel Nichols had a baby and she got bigger. Mm-hmm. Right? Thicker, if you will. Right. And that, I think, did more for her visibility than anything else, because ESPN absolutely has a record of kind of, shooting bigger women from the neck up and, reducing their, they don't host the shows where you have to stand up and,
right.
all this sort of thing. And so, I think you could have been more measured in what you were saying, but also it was a private conversation. So you thought.
Right.
So, exactly. We have private conversations all the time that are like, ooh, shit, if that got out, that would be very damaging.
But also, we're rarely having private conversations in front of cameras or
Correct.
Microphones, whether we think they're on or not.
Correct.
So
yeah,
you have to assume that if you're in front of a camera or anywhere in the vicinity of a microphone, that it's on. You have
Correct.
to assume that.
That's the first rule.
It is. Mm-hmm. Assume that the mic is hot.
Assume that the mic is hot. The mic is hot. Anyways, so yes.
She tried it. Talk about the this teacher. First of all, okay, just go ahead. I'll opine after you explain.
So this teacher, first of all, high school teachers getting tenure is like, is that what we're doing? But right. Anyway, this high school teacher in Tennessee was fired by a vote of his school board for assigning an essay and the associated video of a poem by Ta-Nehisi Coates talking about white privilege. He assigned it to his students. He's a well-liked teacher. People coming out of the woodwork from, had his classes, long time ago, parents, all this sort of thing. But, a white guy under this new wave of legislation that anti-CRT. And to be clear, the way that CRT is being used here is basically, if you mention racism, if you mention race at all, if you mention that, any sort of, topsy-turvy, any kind of imbalance based on the color of skin, which I find really interesting because I think people should start to be more creative and talk about the figure out a way to discuss the advantages, and then have people be like, oh, but you can't talk about that, because the whole thing is, you know, we don't want to make kids hate America by telling the truth about America. By saying,
I think people would respect America more if they understood or believed that America could say, you know what, this was our past. These are facts. You can't. Facts are not subjective. This is what happened. This is a thing that happened. We're not saying that because you are white that you are racist. Nobody's suggesting that. CRT doesn't suggest that, which again is not being taught in high schools and elementary schools. It's a graduate level theory being, that's being taught history through the lens of law. But anyway, nobody's suggesting that. We're suggesting that there is a level of privilege that is associated with that has affected justice in our world. I have a level of privilege. I am educated. I'm a homeowner. I am, I have a salaried job or whatever. There's various levels of privilege. You're multi-degreed. You are, a med student. You have a home, and you could decide not to work a 9 to 5 anymore. This is a certain level of privilege that we have.
Yeah.
Having that privilege doesn't make me hate myself. It helps me understand why I am afforded certain opportunities that other people are not afforded. So right. I don't understand why white privilege is so hard to admit, accept, and explore. No one is it's not
no one's asking you to answer for slavery. No one is asking you to answer for, things that happened in the 1600s. What we're asking is for everyone to acknowledge that it happened. Again, I remember when the book The Help came out, and how when the movie was coming out, residents of Jackson, Mississippi were like, boycott the movie. And I'm like, but Black people worked in your homes.
Yes.
That is a thing that Black people are still working in your homes. And so it's like the denial of, because it's uncomfortable, and it's not more uncomfortable than, I'm old enough to remember when I believed that my history started with slavery.
Right.
When that's what I thought we were. That's what we came from. That's all that we were. We were slaves, and then, civil rights happened, and now
and now we're good.
I remember feeling, some kind of way about my name, because it wasn't like the Jodys and the Amandas and the, all that. I remember that. And a lot of that stemmed from believing that my history started with a slave ship. You know what I'm saying? So again, if we can acknowledge that those meager circumstances is what we thought we came from, why do you have such a problem acknowledging that you were the people that built the slave ships and brought us over here to do work? And then when you were told that we couldn't do that anymore, you wanted us to go away. And that's where we are today. You're still trying to figure out how to make us go away. It doesn't make it less true because you deny it. Just like, deciding not to teach sex ed doesn't mean that your child won't get pregnant.
Right.
It doesn't mean they won't figure it out.
It's the same
thing. It doesn't mean that they won't watch porn. It doesn't mean that somebody on the school bus isn't going to give them their version of the birds and the bees because you've decided that schools can't teach it to your kids. You're not having that conversation with your kids. And that's my take home message from all of this foolishness is we need to be more targeted as a people, the same way that a lot of Asian communities will have Korean school on Saturday to hand down the culture.
Yes.
The way that they have, you know, Asian community centers and things. We need to be doing that. Fuck public school. Public school has been a sinking ship for decades. It has been a have and have not situation for quite some time now. And, you know, you don't want to teach it doesn't mean that it's not going to get taught. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have my kids reading the 1619 Project. It just means that I can't assign it as a history lesson, right?
Yeah.
And while I understand that, you know, what you want is to be able to teach freely and say, you know, hey, here's another version. Here is a version that you won't find in school books. It's still incumbent upon each and every parent to start having these conversations. Are not going to have themselves. They're just not. And your kids are going to trip into this shit on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or YouTube, or it's either going to be PewDiePie teaching them some shit, or it's going to be you or your teacher. Like, you need to make some real decisions right now because I don't want to be the parent that's like, I had no idea that this is what my kid was doing down in the basement. You know why? You have no idea, because you don't talk to your kids about any fucking thing. That's why.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly. Whoo! That was a lot. That was a lot of that conversation. But that's funny because the next segment is about a flight being canceled because teens refuse to mask up. Please explain that one. I didn't see that story.
So it was a flight to the Bahamas, and apparently it was about 30 teenagers from Boston. There was some sort of technical issue on the first plane, so they made everybody get off and get on the next plane. And when they got on the next plane, these teenagers from Boston decided they were not going to mask up. And they were like, we can't take off until you mask up. They were like, we're not fucking masking up. And they were screaming and being Boston-y, I guess. And so they canceled the flight, not get security to escort these hoes off the plane. They canceled the fucking flight.
Yeah, thinking that's to make the kids care. The kids don't care. Everybody else on the plane cares.
People who had vacation, they had purchased vacation weekends, all that, they don't get made whole. The flight was fucking canceled.
Yeah.
Because some kids decided they weren't going to mask up.
You know, I read recently that people are being fined up to $20,000 for not masking up on flights.
Good.
But if we're not being consistent in how we are
messaging.
Yeah. $20,000. I mean, why not just put on the mask? But we know why not just put on the mask, because you don't have to.
Because you don't have to. This whole wear a mask unless you're fully vaccinated, then you don't have to wear a mask. And I'm like,
right.
Honor system.
Yeah.
Scouts honor.
Yep. Nope.
You're not vaccinated. That's why I'm like, you should not assume that because I have a mask on, I'm not vaccinated. And I will never assume that because you don't have one on that you are.
That's right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I probably assumed the opposite, but yeah. Let's talk. And this is a different type of privilege about your boy. Oh, the cause is out here fudge popping up the future. He is just fudging up. He is out here weighing in on, okay, first of all, he's doing the most since being sprung.
He's running the O.J. Simpson handbook. Don't go somewhere and sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. He posted about his fresh haircut the other day, and I don't follow him. Hey, I don't follow him, but I saw it on some other site where he posted about his fresh haircut and his wife. He was not exonerated. Thank you. But anyway, he's commenting and on social, being grateful for Dean Rashad's comments in support of him before HR called her. And also Stephanie Mills. Some of y'all don't even know who that is. Stephanie Mills.
I never
the original Dorothy in The Wiz. Is out here weighing in on the comments as well, on Felicia Rashad's comments, saying basically, if y'all have such a problem with Bill Cosby, why don't y'all give his money back, Howard?
Did he give money to Howard?
Apparently.
See, and from what I've been reading, they don't know that he's actually giving money to Howard because he's always given money to Spelman and Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
He wore their shirt on the Cosby Show. He wore Xavier's shirt on the Cosby Show.
I mean, that was an era when every Black person in a TV show was supporting HBCUs in their clothing. Sure. It was just like an era. Everybody did. But yeah, so Stephanie Mills had that to say, to which the Cos replied in gratitude that he always loved her music.
And then she went on to give an interview and was like, I think that people are afraid to speak up. That's why they mute themselves, because they're afraid of the backlash. I'm not afraid of the backlash. You're also not relevant.
Right. I'm not afraid to be on the wrong side of history.
Because what difference does it make? You already are part of history.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But he's out here talking about suing, and he's out here. I mean, he's doing a documentary. He's doing the most. Oh my gosh. He has no good people around him to tell him to sit down and shut up. Next thing you know, he'll be writing a book, If I Did It.
I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on the If I Did It to drop.
Yeah, he is definitely following the playbook. Yeah. And while we're on the theme of trash human beings, oh, please. Okay, can you pull up this? I know you're off social, but can you pull up Wendy talking about Swavy? Swavy, I think is his name. We talked a little bit earlier about Wendy Williams, who it's been long established, not just, this year or in the past month, that she's a trash human being. Basura, she is like basura en fuego.
Right.
So here he is.
So
I got it.
Yeah, let's watch, shall we?
She's awful.
She is.
He's 19, and he was murdered Monday morning.
Oh,
Wendy
this is
Williams.
the good one.
No, that doesn't start at the beginning. So let me give you what happened before that. Hopefully you can find it. But Wendy, during her Hot Topics, starts talking about this guy, Swavy. And I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong and somebody can correct me. But she starts off talking about, hey, do you guys know who this guy is? Anybody? And people are like, no, I don't know who he is. He's a TikTok star. He has more followers than I do. And then someone else is like, yeah, I have more followers on TikTok, but not on Instagram. She's like, you're right. The crowd's all clapping and smiling and laughing. And she goes, nobody knows who he is. I don't know who he is. And then
I think I found it.
Okay, let's see. You went to the right place.
I have no idea who this is. Neither does Norman. Neither does one person in this building. Maybe Sus does. Do you know who Swavy is? Clap. Clap if you know who Swavy is. Okay. Sus?
It's not my cup of tea that I got going on right now.
Well, he's a TikTok star. He's got more followers than me. 2.5 million.
On TikTok, but on Instagram, you have more followers.
Well, as my son Kevin would say, no one uses Instagram anymore.
What?
And as far as TikTok, I don't use that at all. I don't know what that is. I don't want to be involved. So here he is. He's 19, and he was murdered Monday morning.
Okay, so she then proceeds in a later clip. You got it? Oh, no.
No, I don't have that one.
Okay. She then proceeds in a later clip to say, when people are like, oh my gosh, he was murdered, she goes, all those followers.
She's awful.
I mean, there's like a canopy bed for her in hell. I mean, she is just such a horrible person, and somehow just getting more and more famous, which says something about our values as a community. She's getting more and more famous for just generally being miserable. Yes, all that lead up to know she's about to announce his death. She has people laughing and cheering her on. Then the postscript to that announcement was all those followers.
All those followers. Like that's what you were concerned about. That he died and had all those followers.
Yeah. Yes, the pain she must be in. Yes. I mean, it's like, do you have to practice to be that horrible?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is your show even about? Like, why? Hot Topics. There's a lot that's going on in the world, and it seems like you just glom onto the worst. Like whatever that thing is, I'm gonna talk about that, but I'm not even gonna talk about it from a trauma porn standpoint. I'm gonna like take a different tack. Like with this kid, who the fuck even knows who this is? And like, why would you bring this up
and make it about you
to point out that he's dead and be upset about the followers?
Yeah. To make it about her.
And who are the people that go on this show still? That's what I am with it.
Who go on this show and then sit in the audience and doing her little
and do exactly what they're told to do.
Yes. Do better. She's not going to do better, so y'all do better. I mean, please. Oh,
she's terrible.
Okay. So also in the realm of people being terrible. So I don't know if anybody on here remembers the show iCarly. Some of y'all might.
I used to love that show.
It was a good show.
I thought it was so cute. Miranda Cosgrove.
Yes.
Her bum-ass older brother.
Yes. It was a cute show. Well, now they've remade it. And I won't say remade it. It's like a continuation.
Yeah.
They're adults now. And the character Sam is not on the show. There's basically somebody replacing, but not replacing Sam. And she's Black. And the world, America, has lost its shit because this person is Black. They have been sending this young woman, very young woman, death threats. They have been, calling her out her name, using the N-word. They have been, writing to the network that, basically take that N-word off. People are really, really mad when Black folks show up in
white spaces.
In white spaces. I was going to say in spaces reserved for white folks. To a child over a TV show.
And I mean, they would be appalled to realize that one of the people responsible for this reboot is a Black woman.
Yes.
Francesca Ramsey. And she's like, and I'll do it again. I'll put some more Black people on this bitch. Keep talking.
Right. Don't push me. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Yes. Folks are out here sending horrible, horrible messages to aid. I mean, she's not a child, but virtually. Yeah. People are trash. And so I'm really wondering about this new remake that's coming out. They are redoing The Wonder Years. Was a show that, I mean, it was critically acclaimed. It won so many awards. It was a really good show that featured Fred Savage. I can't remember who did the narration for it. Do you know who did the narration for it?
It was dude from City Slickers.
Oh, wow.
His last name is Stern.
Wow.
That's what
there was a narrator who narrated from the adult perspective of the Fred Savage character. And it was set in like 50s, 60s.
I think it was 60s because we had some Vietnam.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right. So they're redoing the Wonder Years and Daniel Stern
Daniel Stern, yeah.
and with Black folks.
Dule Hill is playing the daddy.
The narrator is Don Cheadle.
Yes.
So very excited about it, but I foresee folks losing their shit.
But you know what's funny about that? Is that when people bring up the lack of diversity on the show, on any show, they're like, well, just do it with Black people, right? Like David Schwimmer said that shit about Friends. And it was funny because when Erica Alexander was like, oh, that's funny that we did that. It was called Living Single, right?
Yeah.
And you actually were the derivative of that.
Yes.
So don't be mad.
Right.
Don't be mad.
Oh, but what Dee said, don't be mad. They're gonna be big mad.
And I don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah,
I will be recording it because I will not be watching television at that time, but I will be giving them all of my
Nielsen
ratings by recording, by putting it on the DVR. Because why not?
I know.
We already told the white one, so we don't need to retell that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Wonder Years, the 60s and the 70s for a little white boy are going to be a completely different story than the 60s and 70s for a little Black boy. It's going to be so different.
It's going to be like Everybody Hates Chris minus Terry Crews. I mean, like, it's great.
and did they have a laugh track? I don't think they did. But either way, it's still wonderful. The years were still wonderful, but it's going to be a completely different experience. And I think that we can benefit from it. But yeah, I foresee the world losing their mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Not one single solitary. Okay, yeah, there you go.
One single solitary will not.
Shit, none.
We'll be watching.
I know. We didn't put this on here. Oh yeah, we did. I was about to say we didn't, but we did. But we're at the C block, which is always a good time. We kind of rapid fire through a few things before we end. It's our last block of the show. But I'm letting you know right now before we get to the end that we're going to ask you what you're reading right now. So cue it up. Don't put it in the chat yet, but get your mind right so you can let us know what you're reading. And we'll talk about what we're reading. But right now, go see or not be /summer reading. That's our C block. Y'all ready? If it's something that you have seen and you think we should all go see it, then in the comment box, you need to tell us what it is you saw and go see or not be. Not be meaning don't go see it. Okay, everybody ready? Lego. Black Widow. I've seen it twice.
We saw that shit Thursday night at the theater in 3D.
Okay, 3D.
For 4 of us. So,
wow.
Yeah. And we're going to get it on Disney Plus so we can watch it again.
That's what I did. I did Disney Plus. I watched it with Cortland and surround sound. So, that was good. And then Colby, who does not watch movies, watched it with me. And, oh, Jazzy, you're going to love it. Yes, go see ASAP.
Asexually.
Yeah. My middle kid was like, and he's not a kid, he's 23, but my middle kid was like, I forgot it was a Marvel movie. I was just so engrossed in it to the end where the Avengers music came on. He was like, oh yes, it's a Marvel movie, but it is edge of your seat. Oh, you should buy it before your flight and watch it there. Yeah. But you're gonna be like, I mean, there's some jump scare moments. There's some what the hell is happening moments there. I mean, it's the whole package. Definitely for me a go see.
For sure.
Definitely.
See. What? Okay. Scarlett Johansson.
Why are we judging her so much? Why are we judging Bev?
The Marvel character, Black Widow. That's her moniker in all the other Marvel movies. If you haven't seen them, maybe you haven't seen them.
I'm a little ashamed that we judge you so hard.
And Jazzy said, "I will teach you in the ways of Marvel." Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Yes, I mean, we know what happened in Endgame. So it was. I thought, somebody was saying to me that they were wondering, what would be the point of this movie, because when the movie took place, it wasn't going to change anything in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it gave us a lot of context into why she makes some of the decisions that she does.
Yeah.
So without giving it away,
I felt like it also kind of undid some of what happened in Endgame, because I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I fought Marvel, because I feel like Marvel is short-sighted if they're nothing, and they do a lot of things, like, with Black Panther, for instance, not realizing what they had, and the whole Killmonger situation, which was like, y'all could have had a dozen more movies with the two of them going back and forth, and not reading the tea leaves.
Yes.
So yeah.
But you're right, Jazzy. They rope you back in by taking you back in the timeline, and making you, making you invest in these characters. So yeah, definitely a go see.
One that's not on here, and before you do that one, I watched The Tomorrow War.
Oh, you did? What did you think?
It's good, despite Chris Pratt. There's a lot of Black involvement, in a good way, and I'm just like, go see that shit. It was good.
Jazzy agrees with you.
It was good. I was surprised because I wasn't pressed. I saw Chris Pratt and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I had the same feeling. I mean, you're what's his name?
He talks out the side of his mouth like he's popping. Yeah. And he talks like this the whole movie. But despite that, everybody else in the movie was really good. So
okay. Oh yeah. Wow, Jazzy's watched it thrice.
I'm probably gonna watch it again. But yeah, it was good.
Wow, okay. I'll give it some attention. Next is Zola, and I don't know if you guys remember, but this was a story that was told. Was it Twitter?
Yes, and it was like 148
different tweets. It was a thread. The story was told on Twitter, and it was so enthralling that people were like, "This needs to be a book or a movie." And guess what?
Now it's a movie.
I want to see it. I have not seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but if it's even remotely as enthralling as were the tweets.
Right.
Yeah, but the casting seems good. Mm-hmm. So, I plan to see it at least. So it looks like everybody else plans to see it too. So right now we're go see Zola. We'll let you know after we see it if we maintain the go see status.
We're like, go see it, but at the matinee.
Right. Run the World. Okay, this is a TV show that folk has been telling me I need to be watching. I have not watched it. You've seen it?
Watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it.
I've watched, little clips on Instagram that have been intriguing. They piqued my interest. So, okay. Yeah. Run the World on Stars.
Black Sex in the City, set in Harlem. And it's not like broke down Sex in the City. It's, bad bitches, Harlem, they're doing their thing. And I mean, it's an intriguing story. It's interesting. So it's wrapped. So you can actually binge it now if you want.
Oh, beautiful.
To. Yeah.
No, I love that. I love the binge.
Fingers crossed that they get to, because it's a hell of a cliffhanger. And I'm like,
oh no.
I fucking gotta know now. So yeah.
Jazzy said so. It's her former life, wink.
Right. Exactly. You of all people should appreciate this one.
All right, let's do it. Loki on Disney Plus.
Okay. I haven't watched it.
Okay.
I'm going to
get Disney Plus.
I kind of wanted them to upload all of them so that I could just watch it.
I get it. It is so different. It's so different. I mean, it's like they have different production companies, different, just everything is different in each of these series, and in a good way. Loki is very dark, and I don't mean dark as in content, but dark as in literally not bright. It's filmed in a very kind of dark
Okay.
way, kind of like the Star Wars movies are filmed.
Yeah.
Really dark. Go see for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very twisty and turning. You think you know what's going on, then you don't. It's very twisty and turning.
Okay.
So yeah, Loki definitely for me. Go see, and for Grande as well. It's a good.
Yeah. I mean, I fucks with Loki, so
yeah. I mean, Tom Hiddleston. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I fucks with Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And his hair is always amazing.
Amazing.
How you gonna watch WandaVision and the other one, but not watch this?
I think I burnt out the other one, Falcon. I think I just kind of burnt out on the episode by episode drops. And so when it dropped, I was like, okay, I'm going to wait till they have like 3. And then I was like, well, I know me because I got time like that. I'll be mad.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Which watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you kind of had to watch before you watched Black Widow.
Which is interesting because I actually think Black Widow was supposed to drop before Falcon and Winter Soldier did. So all I would say about Black Widow is watch all of it. Watch it till it goes black. Do not leave when the credits begin. Like watch all of that shit. Because you know how Marvel movies do.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a part that I won't give away, but there was something that was gifted to Black Widow that now I want to look in the other movies to see if it's in the other movies, and I know it's going to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige, My Life. Okay. Have not watched it, but I want to watch it. And I love Mary. I appreciate Mary. Probably not in the same way a lot of people do. I appreciate Mary, but I've never been like, I'm not that kind of fan. I'm not a super fan, but when her music comes on, it's a good bop. And I will scream out her lyrics. It was jazzy, it really was. But when I saw her talking about verses, and they were like, "Would you ever be willing to do a verses?" And she was like, "Baby," basically, she was like, "Bitch, I'm me." She was like, "Why? How would I do that?" She was like, "In what way would that benefit me?" No thanks. And I was like, "Oh, now I gotta watch it."
The stories were kind of new for me, Grand Dame. I mean, it's all about that album. It's not a Mary J. Blige retrospective. It's like her up to My Life. And so there were a lot of things that I just, again, I'm not the most plugged in to people's personal shits all the time. But I mean, it was good. I was enthralled. Like I was like pressing ignore on phone calls because I wanted to finish it. So I thought it was really good.
Okay.
And the music, of course, it's like, okay, especially where we were during that time.
Yeah.
So, we were in college and like, it was like, I know exactly where I remember using that song at a step show.
Yeah.
And it was like, how do we work that in? And, it's just like, what?
My freshman step show had Real Love in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I will. So it's a go see, you say?
Yeah, I say go see.
And D does too. Okay, good. All right, so we're here, guys. We want to we'll tell you about what we're reading. Then maybe you can tell us what you're reading. What do you got open right now, Mickey?
So I'm a Jasmine Guillory fan. So her just dropped today. While we were dating. Yeah.
What?
Yes, it dropped today. So for those of you who don't read Jasmine Guillory, she's one of these authors who like her very first book introduced 2 characters, and every book since then has had the people have been related to one of those characters. So not related necessarily by blood, but like, this their storylines. So yeah, this one
I did not know that.
Book, yes, it appeared.
I'm downloading When we hang up, I will be downloading.
So excited. So that's the next book, When We Hang Up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So
did you put it on? Is it on Audible today too, or is it?
So I canceled my Audible. I've been like, okay, I will get Audible as necessary, but I got it on Kindle.
Okay.
But I'm sure it is.
Okay.
She's from right out here, so I had half a mind to go to East Bay Booksellers and see if I could run into her, be like, "Hey, I love your shit."
Yes. So I am reading. I'm rereading parts of Pearl Clegg's Things I Should Have Told My Daughter.
Okay.
Which is just so bizarre, and I've read it, but there's just parts of it. It's all journals. It's journal entries.
Mm-hmm.
And her life was just so batshit crazy.
I haven't read it, so I'm gonna have to add it to my list.
Read it because it's all journal entries, so it's good nuggets. And she talks about a lot of prominent Atlanta people, and in her journal entries. Basically, she told her daughter, her daughter was an adult, "Hey, I have my journal entries from like 1975 to 1985 or something like that. I think it is. Do you want them? I've been saving them for you." And her daughter was like, "Hell no."
Right? No, I don't want to.
And she was like, "I already know you." And she's like, "No, you don't."
No, you don't.
You know? She's like, you know who I am now. You don't know all of me." Her daughter had wanted nothing to do with them, so she published them. And when I tell you, she talks about working for Maynard. She talks about hanging out with, just read it. You'd really enjoy it.
Okay.
So that's that. I'm also, and that's that. I have a hard copy book. I'm in the middle of 3 books. You know the struggle. On Kindle, I'm reading The Great Divorce, which is a C.S. Lewis book, and it's like an allegory type shit.
Okay.
And then Audible, I'm listening to a book that the reason it's in the rotation, the reason I have 3 open is because I had to pause that shit because it was annoying as fuck. And it's The Other Black Girl.
Okay.
I know you read it.
I did.
And I'm supremely annoyed.
Yes. It is annoying.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick it back up, but right now it's on pause. That's on Audible.
Yeah. You know what? So there's only like a few voices I like to hear on Audible. And if that's not who's narrating, I'm generally like, that's okay.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you the voices you like to hear, because it's this one chick who does them all. And I have my logs here, my reading logs. Let me see what her name is. It's one black chick who does them all. There is her name, Bonnie Turpin.
Yes. Yeah, she ain't reading. I'm like, yeah.
If Bonnie Turpin ain't reading.
Because you know what book I've been trying to get through for years? Jessamine Ward, Sing Unburied Sing. I tried reading it. I'm listening to it off and on, and one of the people that reads it is Nova from.
She's Gotta Have It.
No, the show about the sugar. Queen Sugar, yes.
Queen Sugar, yeah.
The story is like, bitch, what? Okay, can we? Yeah.
Well, that's how I felt about it. And Donna Morgan, Donna Morgan from Redan, Adrian Sims' sister. Anyway, we tell people government names. But she's Cortland's class. She just started reading Barack Obama's book on Audible, and she's like, "Oh, I'm, spending my vacation." I was like, "This is not a vacation book. That is not a go sit by the beach book." It is a long book. It is a difficult book. It's very informative, but it is not becoming. If you think you're going to be cracking open Becoming,
no,
it ain't that.
No,
it ain't that.
No, and I read it, but yeah, it's not the same.
Not the same.
I read. I don't have my little book journal near me. I read something cutesy. I think it was called Make a Scene.
Oh, and tell them about the trilogy you just read. You just told me about.
Oh yeah, the Legacy. No, the I don't know what it's called, but it's a trilogy about a Black Ivy League school that's tucked in the woods somewhere in Ohio, and you basically have to go, and you can only there's only a certain number of spots for people who are not legacies, and as a legacy, you introduce yourself. Oh, I think I froze.
No, you're not frozen. Not for me anyway. You said it's called the Birthright Trilogy.
The Birthright Trilogy, yes. And so you go and you introduce yourself, and you say your full name, and what your legacy is. So what's the business? Is it a funeral home, or legal services, or whatever? Everybody is like dressed to the nines. They got Starbucks and all these other places on campus, and everybody's just like all this money. So of course your protagonist gets dropped in the middle of this. She has none of that, but she's trying to figure out like how she fits in all this. So I mean, it's a quick, relatively quick read. Like I think I read it over a long weekend, all three of them, because it's just like, okay, what is gonna happen? Very soapy, team bad decisions, like just why would you do that?
Yeah.
But it was cutesy. I was like, okay, I'm here for Black Ivy League and folks with money. And
so in that same vein, Black Ivy League, folks with money, we both read Sunny Hostin's Summer at the Bluffs, which was so good. And you were doubtful.
I was skeptical. I was like, Sunny Hostin, small doses,
right.
But it was a page turner.
Yes. So read that too. So what are y'all reading? Tell us in the comments, what are y'all reading right now, or that you just finished that we need to read? Y'all go ahead and tell us. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, I want to read that Bamboozled by Jesus. Yes. And Come As You Are. I don't know that one. Emily Nagoski. I don't know that one. But yeah, I want to read Bamboozled by Jesus. So you'll have to let me know.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me, because I had my finger on the button and then I was like,
Yeah.
I stand Yvonne Orji, but
yeah, me too. I'm gonna pre-order Will Smith's book too, if not just for the art on the cover. It's gorgeous. Look it up. The artwork is amazing.
Okay.
But it's still in pre-order.
And
Come As You Are. I don't know that one at all, but I'll have to look that up to see if it's worth a read. But what else are y'all reading? Bev and Deb, what are y'all reading? I know y'all are reading something.
Right.
Loved Summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lovey's new one. You know what's funny? Okay, team unpopular opinion. I was not a big fan of Lovey's first book. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I was like, I don't know what all the hoopla is about. But I really enjoyed this one more. So yeah. Oh,
that Come As You Are. Okay, yeah, I have that one.
Oh, yes. Hind's Feet in High Places. That's an allegory, isn't it? That's an allegory too, isn't it? Hind's Feet in High Places. I think it is. But that's a good, that is definitely an oldie. I have a super old copy of that. I think it's an allegory. Come As You Are, the surprising new science that will transform you. Okay, yes, I have heard about this book, and they recommend it all the time in there's a podcast called Forever 35, and they have a sub Facebook group called Forever 35 The Download. But it's all about women's reproductive health and sex health and all of this stuff. And whenever, young women will get on there and be like, you know what, I don't know, I've just started having sex, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm afraid, or whatever, people tell them, stop, go read this book, Come As You Are. So I haven't read it, but I feel like I need to. So, okay, cool. She said, look away, Mom. Golden Girl, okay, by Ellen Hildebrand. Ellen Hildebrand. I'd love to know what that is about. You weren't a fan of the first one either, yeah. And it is an allegory. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Okay, good. These are some good recs, guys. I'll take some of them. Hopefully y'all will hear some of our. That's 3 people who said Somewhere on the Bluff, so you got to read that.
Yeah.
And I would love to know offline, D, what made you go back and read Hind's Feet in High Places. Because I mean, when I tell y'all my copy is tattered because it's decades old, I'm really interested in what made you go back to that.
Who wrote this? What is it about?
It's about like a deer. It's literally an allegory. It's a not the same subject matter, but in the same vein of Animal Farm and how they, you know what I mean, they anthropomorphize.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, read it. But yeah, I would. Oh, your therapist. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Good stuff, guys. Well, that's it. We did it in 2 hours and 40 minutes.
One of these days.
I know, right? Well, thanks
Right.
for hanging with us. Seriously.
For sure. All right. Thanks. Follow us on all our platforms at Twofer Blog. Read our blog at twoferblog.com and then drop comments on the blog or on social media. So I just want to give you a little bit about our partners. 4 out of 5 Black and brown women are considered overweight or obese. Let's change that narrative. Curly and Spiritually Fit, a place where Black and brown women come together to take control over their health and souls. Ours, whatever. Melanin Mindscape is a blog dedicated to Black TV, Black history, and Black lit. All melanin, all the time. For those of you watching David Makes Man, I believe Melanin Mindscape is like live tweeting that and doing recaps and all that good stuff. So check it out. Creative Sippin' is a unique and exciting paint and sip studio in Chicago. Kind of naughty sometimes too. They offer a variety of different activities to partner with painting, such as karaoke and comedy. A night at Creative Sippin' is a full night out, so you won't have several things to do. Our studio is always BYOB, so your favorite drinks and snacks are always near. If you can't make one of the classes in studio, then order the paint party in a box and enjoy all the fun in the comfort of your own home. So fun. They send you everything, the canvas, the paints, the whole nine. The Disrupting Balance blog and podcast platform uplifts women embracing the transitions and decisions in their personal and professional lives. Actionable strategies plus purposeful content equals winning a life disrupted in your favor. Spiked Sweet Tea is a podcast hosted by April Nicole and Dina Haynes, 2 Black women from Atlanta, not Georgia. Yes, it's different. Southern hospitality, but spiked. We discuss a range of topics, including pop culture, current events, health, society, and even politics. Gluten-Free Black Girl inspires flavor and creativity in your gluten-free meals. Starting the journey to transition to a gluten-free lifestyle is challenging, but without representation, the frustrations grow. At Gluten-Free Black Girl, you'll find balance, comfort, and reassurance, making you feel empowered through your food. Yum. Clay Botanics are handcrafted skincare blended with Ayurvedic and botanical ingredients to keep your skin and spirit feeling youthful and radiant. Do you want to partner with us? Message us. That sounds creepy as hell. Let me get back to. Oh no, I can't get back to my screen. Anyway, want to partner with us? Message us at holla@Twofer-blog. I'm really trying to get out of this screen.
There you go. It's going away.
Okay, but now I can't see anything.
Uh-oh.
Fudge. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, holla, HOLLA @twoferblog.com with partnership in the subject line, and we'll do the rest. Woot.
We will. Promise.
We promise. I've got to get this to come up. Like this happens every time, and I don't know how to get back. I can't see anything. I can only see my screen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can see you.
All right.
That's all it matters.
I guess that's gonna have to do.
Yes, ma'am. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us. Thanks for getting live with us in the comments. And let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
It's been fun. It's been real. Love you. Your braids are fire.
Love you back. Okay.
All right. Holla, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. Okay. Now it's back, of course.